actually rolling already, so but you guys are ready.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm always ready, me.
Beautiful. Hi everyone, my name is Feromi Olusesin, and I am a participant of the Empowerment for Skills for Success with Mountmove. And today I'll be discussing very important things that I feel you should know about Sheffield. But I am not just here alone. I have with me an important guest, and I will be introducing him right about now. So please tell us your name and a little about yourself.
Right, so my name is Tongesayi Gumbo, originally from Zimbabwe, which is where I was born. Moved to the UK in 1998, but been coming to England since 1993.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I see. So when you moved to Sheffield back in the day, what was your first impression of Sheffield? But before going into that, when you moved to England, did you move to Sheffield or you lived somewhere else before coming to Sheffield?
Well, I used to frequent London,
Okay.
which is where we would go for performances and intercultural programs,
Oh, beautiful.
doing cultural exchange programs with, organizations or artists that were based in London.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So when did you move? Did you remember when exactly you moved to Sheffield?
1998.
1980. So when you moved to Sheffield, what was your first impression of Sheffield?
Well, it was similar to my city, Bulawayo, as in terms of being calm.
Okay.
Looking at that, I'd been to London and other places in the world, and Sheffield came across to me as a very calm and welcoming space.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Just to reiterate, in the course of this interview, we'll be talking about work and industry. And 1998, I suppose, should be about 28 years ago.
Yeah, well, yeah. My mate is I'm old now, so yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful to grow old, in my own opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. So, did you or your family work in steel, manufacturing, mining, or factories when you moved?
No, but a lot of people who, when I first moved to Sheffield, as friends, people that I was surrounded with, had a history of families that worked in the mining industry.
Okay, so what do you think, do you remember any of the stories, or do you remember any experiences they shared with you that stood out at the time to you?
When I came here, it was a big talk about steel industry, which was a lot of places were closing down, a lot of factories were closing down. So I didn't experience the full-on, steel industry, but it was just stories that you would hear how people in Sheffield benefited from, the steel industry. Yeah.
So you didn't make anybody rich?
No.
I just thought to ask that.
No.
Okay, so what kind of jobs were common in Sheffield back in the days when you just moved?
Well, because I've always been an artist and a creative myself. It was easy to get about sharing your creativity in Sheffield. It was easy for me then because it was in demand. People showed interest of wanting to learn about different cultures. But I mean, every job was there. It was easy to get a job. You wanted to get a job, you get an interview, next day you are straight at a job.
So back in the days it was easy. What about, but now it seems like it's very difficult to stop.
It is tough now. Because there's quite, like with creative arts, which is what I'm very much aware of, because of budget cuts and stuff like that the government have, kept a lot of budgets away from creative arts.
Space,
So the creative space is struggling to survive. So you realize back then artists would be on work in the arts industry full time. But now you have to be doing it as a part-time because there's bills and other things to pay.
Right.
So back then when I first came here, it was full on.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So do you think the world evolving over time has had a role to play in this particular scenario? So when I said the world evolving, so technologies, different things around, beyond policies, right? There's a lot of things that there's this global climate and so much more, which could be the reasons why they're putting budgets into other areas that might be affecting the creative space. Do you think that that is a factor? Or?
Definitely. I mean, our music used to be made live on studios, get recorded, CDs sold, and you'd benefit from that. Whereas now, you make a song, gets online, and then anybody has access for it, I mean, for free, and the artist or the person that creates it don't benefit anything. So that's affected quite a lot of the income with that area of artists benefiting from the work that they would have done is totally out now because technology has taken over now.
Right, right. And I think another question comes to mind, right? Do you think that the cost of being in the creative industry back then is not as much as it is now? Because I would think that back then maybe you don't have to pay distributors or producers. I'm just thinking, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Because there is so much layer to what people do in the creative industry now. So back in the days, was it a factor of they didn't have so many layers and it was easy for people to just walk in that space? And now there's so many layers that people particularly don't want to get involved because of the cost.
It is. The cost contributes a lot because right now, as we speak, I mean, like, technology has taken over. Back then, it was just the producer and the director, and that's it. The rest goes to the artist. But now you need to have the rights of this and that and this. You know, there's quite a lot of layers. Before you know it, the artist has nothing. So, yeah.
Okay, so talk us through how work life back then differs from work life today.
It's hard. If you look at a lot of young people now, they get trained to go to universities to go and study for, say, medicine or being an engineer, and it becomes hard for them. After they've graduated, it becomes very hard for them to get a job in those areas. But back then, you knew that if you were going to a course as an accountant, when you finish, you apply a job and you get it. Yes. Or straight away before you even finish, when you go for your placement, the company that you get a placement from just employs you straight away, which is different now. It's very hard.
So based on what you just said, my question would be, did we have less people interested in education back in the day and more people interested in education now? Or what do you think the ratio is as it relates to work?
It's a very tricky one, that one. I think even back then people were interested in education. People went to universities, people got trained, people had, to go to do different courses to get, different skills in certain areas, but they still got the jobs. But now I think the workflow is not as much effective as what it was before.
Okay. So what skills did people value most in those days, in your opinion?
It was everything that anybody as individuals, you would have interest in different areas. I might want to be a musician. If I was trained to be a musician back then, I knew that straight away I'd get a job either in a theater as a music coordinator or something. But now you'd go and do a course, look for a job, and you can't find it because the workflow is dead.
I see.
So, yeah.
Okay. Just thinking about what we've said, do you think that back in the day, people would focus more on a career path than now? Because it feels like things are constantly evolving, and then you might be working in a space that in the next 3 to 5 years, there might no longer be opportunities for you, or the opportunities that exist might not be the best for what you want for yourself. So back in the day, was it a case of where if I studied to become a medical doctor, I knew that was what I was going to do for life? But now, if I'm studying to be a medical doctor, I might even be scared, right? That in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe some of the essentials I have learned now will be carried out by technology or something. So do you think that there was more stability and career progression for people back then than now?
Yeah, I think there was stability before. I mean, back then it was straightforward. Now, I mean, I was walking down the way the other day and some white boxy thing went past me, and I asked my friend, "What's that?" And he said it's Uber Eats, and I thought, where's
Yeah,
so how does it know where it's going? And we were looking at it bounce on a car, it couldn't move, it turned back and went and took another street. So that means somebody has lost a job there.
Yeah.
That robot thing is doing, so it was the first time I saw it. But back then, all this was not there. I mean, like, I would go to a bank, walk into a bank, I want to speak to someone and ask about, if I'm paying this check, when is it going to be like this, that? But now, you just go to a machine and do it. You don't need to speak to anyone. So that means 4 or 5 people have lost their job now compared to then.
Yeah. So what do you think, what would you advise this present generation to do differently? As regards to
Well, there's no turning back now. You know, IA, is it IA or AI? Yeah. Nah, you see, I'm too old. I don't even understand those things. So that is taking over, and we can't deny that. That's how we're gonna live. So if I were young, if I was 20, I'd still, I'd go into that area, because that's not going back.
Yeah.
It's not going back to the time when I was 20. Yeah. So technology is taking over now. So we have to agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What story about Sheffield do you think should never be forgotten?
Sheffield has always been a very diverse space. When I came here, it was very hard to find or see somebody that came from the same country as you. But we knew, or I knew, that there would be some people or Africans. So when I'm walking around the streets of Sheffield and I saw somebody black, I'll walk across and try and go and greet them to understand.
Yeah.
So as I've lived here over the years, I've seen Sheffield becoming more cultural diverse. There's Africans, there's Caribbeans, there's people who were born here in Sheffield. I mean, I have friends from all over.
Yeah.
So Sheffield has grown to be a more colorful space, should I say, from what it was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if future generations hear this interview, or when they do hear this interview, what would you like them to remember?
This interview now, it's just to remember that we had it better than what's happening now. The life now is hard,
Right.
Yeah. So I think you guys are not lucky like us. We were very lucky.
Do you project that it will get better?
It won't. We just have to accept that we are living in this time now.
Yeah.
So technology is what we all have to, even me, I have to learn. I can't survive without my phone now.
Right.
So we all have to agree that it's technology. We're moving with technology now. Can never be what it was when I was 20.
Right.
So it is what it is now. So everybody has to start,
Learning.
Yes.
To move with the wave.
Yes.
And the ever-changing.
Yes. Chances given, there must be a lot of spaces where people are taught about these. People like me taught about these modern things, because I feel like a lot of us are left behind.
Right.
Yeah, or will be left behind.
Yeah, that's an opportunity.
Yes.
Okay. So what message would you leave for the Sheffield of the future? If you were to imagine the Sheffield of the future, what message would you like to leave?
Well, I'd say, because Sheffield has grown to be a very colorful space, and let it just be that. And it's never been known to be a space where there's a lot of drugs, a lot of guns, a lot of knives in the streets. Yeah. It has never been a space that I'd compare with other spaces like Manchester, or we want Sheffield to stay as Sheffield, where people live together. When I walk around streets of Sheffield, some people know me from when I first came here. And Sheffield's like a small village. Yeah. It's massive, but everyone knows everyone. If I don't know you, you will know somebody that knows me. Yeah. So the future Sheffield adults in the future should only keep it that way. Where we live
in harmony.
In harmony, yes.
Right. It's beautiful. I've enjoyed talking to you.
Thank you very much.
It's been really insightful. And for the sake of our listeners, I'd like you to just, remind them of your name.
Tongesayi, which is a very unique name.
What does it mean, though?
The Tongesayi, it means lead them well or judge them well. Yes. And I've not met anyone with my